We are, as we've been mentioning, preparing. Shalom, brother. Preparing for Rosh Hashanah, and like we spoke yesterday, when something is significant to you, you prepare for it. You don't go play rugby, get all sweaty, and then show up to your wedding night that night. I mean, like, from the rugby pitch. It would be probably inappropriate. Like, get ready for the wedding. And the more that something has significance, the more time it deserves to get ready. And therefore, this entire month of Elul is about getting ready for Rosh Hashanah, and therefore we've been getting ready. And even if people are just waking up now, in the last few days, get it now. So we are in the world of Malchis, Zichroinus, and Shofros, which we said is the spiritual fabric of the day. At any single moment in the day of Rosh Hashanah, you want to be in these orbits. Malchis, Zichroinus, and Shofros. So we're going to go through some of the psukim of Malchis today. Malchis begins, yes?
I wanted to follow up on something that we yesterday.
Yes.
Just into the element of preparedness for the Chagim in general, not just Rosh Hashanah. So we spend all this time preparing, doing Tshuva and Elul, just having like more open-mindedness, introspection, and we pray on Yom Kippur. Let me know if you want to talk about this after Rosh Hashanah, between now and then. But we pray on Yom Kippur that we're sealed in the book of life. And what if you have a real mensch doing all these things, and let's say he's not sealed in the book of life? Is there lack of preparedness reflective of that, or is that something much greater than just preparing?
We're not prophets, so we don't know how much did somebody prepare enough, and then based on the consequence of that, we need to be like the Arizal to know those secrets. But for us, we have to prepare as much as we can, and we have to feel like I did my best. Like they say, you do your best and Hashem does the rest. Do your best and Hashem does the rest. But you have to be honest with yourself. Am I putting in enough? One of the great ways to discern that is look on your screen time, and if there's 8 hours a fortnight, daily, in the month of Elul, it may not be that you're putting your best foot forward. It could be. I'm not saying yes or no. Maybe you used to playing 12 hours, so 8 hours is already going in the right direction. So you have to be honest with yourself. You can use people that love you to speak these things out with, but prepare. And the more that something means to you, the more you're going to prepare for it. Like we talked about Shabbos yesterday. You're going to prepare the whole week for Shabbos because you're in love with Shabbos. You're going to get ready. So we're in the world of preparing. Be prepared. Malchus begins with something we say every single day, Aleinu l'shabeach, which some people think is the Tefillas Haderech, but it's not. Aleinu l'shabeach. So let's go through Aleinu l'shabeach. It begins Malchus. So when you get to Musaf on Rosh Hashanah, you're like, oh, Aleinu l'shabeach. I know this one. Like, okay, I'll be quick. Whoa. Aleinu l'shabeach is the opening of all of Malchus. You know who wrote Aleinu l'shabeach?
It's a guess, I don't know.
Yoshua ben Nun. Aleinu l'shabeach. It's upon us. It's upon us. L'shabeach, to give thanks. La'adoin hakol, to the master of all. Hashem, you're the Adoin hakol. And when I say also the name Aleph Dal Nun Yud, when I say that name, we say it all the time. I have in mind, Hashem, you're the master of everything. You control everything. Which means if there's anything I need in this world, who do I go to? The crystal ball lady? No. I go to you, Hashem. You're the Adoin HaKol. Adon also means like a king, a destination. You need something, you go to the king. Yeah.
What does Malchus translate to English?
Kingship. Laseis gedula, to give gedula, greatness. Liyoitzer bereishis. Hashem, you created everything, something from nothing. It's a major part of the day of Rosh Hashanah because it's the day of the beginning of creation. You created something from nothing. Which means before there was creation, there was nothing. But what do we call nothing? There was God. There was no thing. There was no things. Which means it was only God. There was only infinite existence. Now I have a question. After God created, so now there's stuff, so did God change? Meaning before there was creation, there was no things. So then after creation, there's things. But if everything is God, then did God change? That's a very Kabbalistic answer.
He revealed himself in a different way,
Okay, I like where you're going with that.
in a physical way.
So nothing changed. He just revealed. I want to give you a famous analogy, yeah? Shane, you were going to say? Yeah?
I think he made himself like interactable. Like you could now interact with him.
Everything you guys are saying is very good. I want to give you, like, really good, actually. Like you've been learning some good stuff. I want you to give me your notes and your resources. I want to give you a famous analogy that the Mikubalim use to explain this idea. That before God created is the same God as afterwards. Nothing changed in God. What do you mean? Like if God is everything, then, but there was no things and now there's things. So it looks like something changed. Nothing changed. Nothing. So how did that work? Imagine I want a group of first graders to learn the Aleph Beis. They need to learn the Hebrew alphabet. And we're going to teach them the story of how Abraham made a tent. That anybody who needed things, he would come and he would serve them food, an eshel. So who do I hire to have these first graders learn about the story of Abraham? I have a great idea. I want them to know what was going on there. So I'm going to hire Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai. And he's going to come. He was the author of the Zohar, one of the greatest Kabbalists of all time. And he's going to come and he's going to, no, better than that. I'm going to hire Moshe Rabbeinu to come and tell these first graders everything he knows about the tent of Abraham.
Why not just get Abraham?
Oh, better off. Abraham, who knows even more secrets, he's going to tell all the secrets. Let's even simplify it. I want to teach these first graders the beginning of the Torah. Bereshis bara Elokim. In the beginning, God created. So I get, that's even too complex. I want to teach these first graders the letter Aleph. So who do I get to do that?
Hashem.
So Hashem's a good teacher. Hashem's the best teacher. I'm going to decide to go with Moses. Moses is going to come in. Okay, now we're in the analogy. Moses is going to come in to teach these first graders the letter Aleph. So if you were a first grade teacher, how would you teach this group? You got like 30 kids, 36-year-olds. You want to teach them an Aleph. So what I would do, I would say, okay, everybody, this is what a letter Aleph is. I write it on the board. Everyone see. Okay, everyone say after me. Aleph. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Aleph. Okay. Wow, I want to see Aleph. You hear this Aleph. Everyone's like, oh yeah, Aleph. Okay, this is what an Aleph is. Wow, Aleph. And then I make sure when you have it clear. Okay. So, and then I'm going to cover up the letter. And okay, what's this? I want Aleph. Yeah, okay, Baruch Hashem, we're making progress here. Great. So now imagine Moses came. Now, do you know what's going on in an Aleph? There's books out there that talk about what an Aleph really is. No, it's the same thing as Aleph, but it tells you like an Aleph is really like 3 letters. It's like a Yud on the top, a Yud on the bottom, and then a Vav connecting the two. It corresponds to the higher universe and the lower universe and the Vav that connects the worlds. It means all of creation. It's the yin yang. It's everything. So imagine Moshe Rabbeinu starts telling these kids everything he knows about the letter Aleph. And the Aleph can like split and just look at Ichimar Siddur. Like the bottom part's in like Dalids and the top is like Dalids. And like what? It's like three-dimensional and there's light coursing through the letter. The Aleph is really the upper part of your existence and the lower part of your consciousness. You have to unify the Aleph. Now imagine Moshe Rabbeinu starts telling everything that he knows about an Aleph to these first graders. What do you think the kids are going to do? They're going to start they're going to fall to the floor and just start screaming out, Hashem hu Elokim. Hashem hu Elokim. Are they going to be able to comprehend what Moshe Rabbeinu was trying to convey to them if he tells them everything he knows about an Aleph? No, they're going to be screaming on the floor, doing something like Shane was doing, like, got it, Rabbi. It's not going to be a relationship. There's going to be no connection point. So what does Moshe Rabbeinu decide to do? He decides, I'm going to, hear this well. I'm going to limit myself. I'm going to withhold what I know about an Aleph. Hear this well. I'm going to constrict. I'm going to be mitzamtzem, Adam. I'm going to hold back what I know about the letter Aleph. And I'm going to say to them, okay, everybody repeat after me, Aleph. So, did Moses limit himself? Did he lose anything? What do you mean? Like he could tell you, he's limiting himself. He's holding, he's not the same Moses.
Is limiting the same as losing?
Well, he didn't change his own understanding about
He knows what an Aleph is. Moshe Rabbeinu knows what an Aleph is. When he just says Aleph, and you see that sparkle in his eye, he's like, Moshe Rabbeinu, he knows what an Aleph is. So if you're a smart kid, you're like, you look at your teacher, he's like, Aleph, and the teacher's like, the student's like, oh, Aleph. Okay, I see there's more to the Aleph than meets the eye. But he made Aleph relatable. What this is called is making communication that there's now a giver and a receiver, and there's an ability for there to be some communication, a relationship. If you've ever gone to a class, a Torah shir, I was in college, and there were certain professors, I feel bad, I think they just like to hear themselves talk, because nobody knew what was flying. So what exactly did we receive in that experience? What transfer of wisdom happened? Probably very little. And it could be like a turn-offish experience, if that's even a real word. You want there to be a relationship. They want there to be that the one who's communicating is able to give to the one who's receiving. But here's the side, here's the secret. The one who's the giver doesn't need to lose anything just because he's holding back what he knows. In fact, that's the sign of the great Rebbe, is he could take very lofty concepts and make it very relatable. That's actually the highest sign, is to take very big ideas, deep ideas, and make them relatable to a child. Do you know what the deepest night of the year is, where this is happening? The night where the entire transmission is going from the older generation to the younger generation, and you're conveying the deepest ideas, is Passover night, where the Torah itself has a mitzvah. V'gadata lebincha b'yoyim hahu. You have to give it over to your children on this day. You have a mitzvah to tell them all the secrets that God. We came from challenging background. We came from Avram Avinu, who had a father who worshipped idols. We came from Lavan, who wanted to kill Yaakov. We had challenging times as the Jewish people. And we went down to Egypt. And we had 210 years in Egypt of excruciating pain. And then we screamed out to you, Hashem, and all the secrets and all the plagues and everything that was happening. And Hashem came down, and all the exacting punishments that came to those evil ancient Egyptians. And everything. And you have to convey this to your 3-year-old daughter. So how do you think you convey it? Do you think you say, there's a machlokes rishonim, Rabbi Akiva Eger, in the different pshat and the taich of the, and you're like, there's 4 different days in, what the, and they're like, what? Oh, no. The sag is of the ab and the ban is being in the partsuf of ab ima is being mashpia to zer anpin and nukva. Like, what's a nukva? What's a zer anpin? What is this? Don't you have the Kabbalah? Don't you know the absag maban that you're holding? Don't you know what's happening on Seder night? There's the beshpois gedoilus. From Ab and Yudke, Vavke, and Ekye. The kids are like, oh no, like I thought this is supposed to be a good, fun night, and we don't get it. You know what Seder night is all about? Taking the deepest concepts and making it relatable to your 3-year-old.
This is an aleph.
This is an aleph. And therefore, when you say, and Hashem took us out of Mitzrayim because He loves us, oh, kids, why did Hashem take us out? Because He loves us! Yay! So you know what that means, Hashem loves us. When you say those words, Absag Maban Shefa, you know what that means. You were preparing for Pesach. By the way, Pesach is probably the holiday you prepare the most for. There's halachas very strongly about preparing for Pesach. Pesach needs a lot of prayer. Our Rosh Yeshiva, you will not see him after Purim. He's literally getting ready for Pesach, cleaning the house. Now, when he's cleaning the house and he's cleaning the house. He's cleaning. He's cleaning the house. Oh, so what's the Rosh Yeshiva? Cleaning the house. Yes.
Well, yes, but he's cleaning
Aleph.
the house.
He's cleaning the house, but he's also cleaning the house. So when I say, and he knows what he means, and it says, "I'm cleaning." Oh, I won't be in for the next couple weeks. I'm cleaning the house. To tell the students, all classes are not happening because I'm cleaning the house. So he is. He's literally going through with a toothpick. But he knows what he's doing. So Pesach night is you need to make Hashem, who's so infinite, relatable to your 3-year-old. One of my wife's, every year she's looking for gems by the plagues. So she had a gem last year. We know one of the plagues, just to give you guys some good material. This is great. One of the plagues, that's why you got to spend a lot of time with the plagues and act it out. And I have a whole Pharaoh thing. And I would tell my kids, I could come back and I heard Pharaoh, I heard Pharaoh came to the set. No, Teddy was here. Me? I don't know. I went out, the rumors said, I heard he came. No, it was only you, Ted. Me? I missed Pharaoh? It was you. No. So the little kid's like, at first they don't know. It's like, oh my goodness, is it Paro? They don't know it's me. You got to really get into the part. Like, oh my goodness, Paro. And then Moshe, you have to make it like, and Hashem loves us. The plague of blood. We know that for the Jews, it was water. For the Egyptians, it was blood. But if water, now hear this well. If we were drinking from a cup, let's say there was like a romantic thing, like a cup, 2 straws. So the Jew would drink water, the Egyptian would drink blood. Same cup. That's what the Medrash says. Same cup, just to show you that miracles within miracles. Okay, I understand that it all turned to blood. That's a miracle. Then miracles within miracles, differentiating. You'd be in the water, a Jew would be taking a mikveh in the water, like a pool, and the rest would be blood. Same pool. Like, how did the water not? So my wife this year, she got these cups. They're like 2-sided cups. I think they make them for like yogurt and like granola. This type of thing. So it was like a 2-sided plastic cup. And she got kosher Pesach, obviously, red Jell-O, and then clear Jell-O. So she brings these cups out, and the cup itself, you look from both sides, one half of the cup is just clear like water, The other half of the cup is blood red. And the kid's like, oh, I see what's happening. And you get a 3-year-old child, like dreaming, seeing, having their imaginations flow into all sorts of universes, very pure places, in a way that they could relate to. So the concept of creation is that God created, now back to God. God created the world. But when God restricted, so to speak, creation, did he lose himself? Just like the rabbi teaching Aleph? No, he just limited the light in such a way that the creation can exist and experience it. So nothing changed in God. All that changed was the perspective of the creation. That's all that happened. And because God limited that, he's not telling us what he knows about the letter Aleph. Except Moshe Rabbeinu, he knows. Moshe Rabbeinu was the closest that you could get to knowing what an Aleph is. God is holding back, so to speak, himself, but which means that even in the creation is all the secrets. But it's coarse enough that we could relate to creation and not explode. I'll give you one more analogy of this. Anybody have a phone that's like getting low on battery? You need like a quick charge? Yeah, Daniel, you need a quick charge?
Yesterday.
Yeah? You need a quick charge, right? I know a guy at the nuclear power plant. You could plug that thing right in, the quickest charge you ever had.
Whoa.
What do you say? You want it?
Let's give it a shot.
Quick charge. Boom. So what do? Oh, you take the energy and you limit it. Oh no, I want quick charge. Bro, you don't get it. Like, it's going to explode. Quick charge. Limit it. Oh, stop limit. Limit it, limit it, limit it, limit it, limit it, limit it. Many limitations. And now you put your phone on the wall. It's what I could relate to that doesn't overwhelm the creation. You get that? But is it the same energy? It's the same stuff, right? It's just gone through a downgrade. You appreciate that? It's the same Hashem here. He's just limiting it in a way that creation can experience it. So nothing changed in Hashem. It's the same Hashem. Hashem is just downgrading the energy to allow a creation to emerge. And by the way, in Kabbalah, as the energy is being downgraded, more levels of creation start emerging. Until you get down to this world, you even have physical creation. This is the beginning of Malchis. We should be Zayich and Mamish to the Melech Malchim Malach HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Amen. Have a wonderful day. Kol Tuv.